Remember, this is a war launched by Vladimir Putin that has killed tens of thousands of soldiers, well over 12,000 Ukrainian civilians, and created more than 10 million refugees, as well as shattering Ukraine's economy. James Waterhouse has more from Kiev after a tense 48 hours between Washington and Ukraine.
An extraordinary allegation from Ukraine's once biggest ally.
I think I have the power to end this war. And I think it's going very well. But today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal.
Leading to an unprecedented response from President Zelensky, who accused Donald Trump of living in a bubble.
It is unfortunate that President Trump, and with great respect for him as the leader of the American people who constantly support us, unfortunately lives in this disinformation space.
On his Truth Social platform, Trump doubled down. He refuses to have elections, he said. He's very low in Ukrainian polls. He then described Ukraine's leader as a dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast, he added, or he's not going to have a country left. What President Zelensky is not is a dictator. Elections have legally been postponed here since the start of the invasion. So perhaps not a good day for America's envoy to Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, to visit.
Morning, y'all. How are you doing today?
Washington claims it is successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, where Vladimir Putin is enjoying a rekindling of relations.
It is impossible to solve many issues, including the Ukrainian crisis, without increasing the level of trust between Russia and the United States.
Away from the politics, Ukraine's capital is just trying to get on. Russian tanks were expected to be in Kyiv within days on that morning 3 years ago. And the fact that they were stopped is something people are very proud of. But America's new foreign policy and how Russia reacts to it means Ukraine could still lose this war. Like any city, you just need to scratch beneath the surface. Almost everyone knows someone who's been injured or killed.
If Trump doesn't want to be with us, if he doesn't want to support Ukraine, then essentially he's betraying his voters, betraying America and its ideals, the very ideals we're defending here.
For Ukraine, everything will be all right. Our guys are not fighting in vain there. We're optimistic and hopeful.
We will definitely win, but I don't think we will feel joy from that, because my brother and my cousin were killed, and it's the same for nearly every family.
A reminder of the sacrifice Ukraine has made to withstand Russia's aggression. The last 24 hours has put it at risk of being for nothing. James Waterhouse, BBC News, Kyiv.
Well, part of the dispute between President Trump and President Zelensky centers on Ukraine's mineral reserves. Mr. Trump wants access in payment for America's past support in the war with Russia. But Mr. Zelensky says he's asking for too much. Well, James Landell is here with that story. James.
Clive, Donald Trump may want peace in Ukraine, but he also wants a piece of Ukraine, namely some of its valuable mineral resources. President Zelensky is resisting, and that, it seems, has provoked President Trump's fury. As you can see from this map from Ukraine's geological survey, the country is rich in raw materials as well as oil and gas. Some estimates suggest its underground deposits are worth more than $11 trillion. Now, this includes critical minerals such as graphite, lithium, titanium and zirconium, and what are called rare earth materials. These 17 metallic elements are used in everything from mobile phones to electric vehicles to missiles and superconductors. Now, Ukraine says it has about 5% of the world's mineral resources. For example, it says it produces 7% of the world's titanium. And it has 22 out of the 34 minerals that the EU has identified as critical. Now, last year, as part of his peace plan, President Zelensky suggested American firms could get access to some of these rare earth deposits in return for continued US military support. But Mr. Trump's team have demanded as much as 50% of Ukraine's mineral wealth and energy reserves. Mr. Trump claims, inaccurately, that Ukraine owes America £400 billion for its previous military support. Mr. Zelensky says this is not a serious conversation.
I am defending Ukraine. I cannot sell our country. That is all. I say, OK, let's have something positive. You will write down some guarantees and we will write a memorandum with some percentages. I was told only 50%. I said, OK, no.
And despite all this diplomatic to and fro, industry experts say it might be hard to get these minerals out of the earth.
And not all of those resources that had been identified by existing exploration and mapping during that Soviet era will be economic to extract. Some of those will not be and will never come into production. So for those reasons, the estimates that have been put out there are very much estimates. There needs to be a lot more work to prove those mineral deposits into economic reserves.
What is clear, though, is that Donald Trump wants any cessation of hostilities in this war to provide economic benefits to the United States, either by extorting minerals from Ukraine or securing access to markets in Russia. But right now, Volodymyr Zelensky is not playing ball. Clive.